quick and then we will get going here. Give me just a second. Excuse me, sorry. It'd be nice to have good internet, fast internet anyway. Where is it? All right, give me just a second. I'm gonna unplug this, put this in. Oh, nope, I'm not. I do have a surprise for you tonight. I was supposed to do this last night, but I forgot, so I'm gonna do it tonight. And I'm gonna show you the 2 new colors we'll be introducing shortly as soon as my computer works, is what we'll do. I apologize, give me just a second here. It is rapid fire tonight. I know it's not rapid fire right now, but it will be in just a few minutes, or hopefully seconds, as soon as you load. There we go. All right, so welcome to our live rapid fire tonight. I appreciate you all being here. If you could support the channel by just hitting the like button, that would be fantastic. Sundays we go live and it's 2.5, 3 hours long. I read all the comments, we hang out. It's a good community setting. Tonight we don't read all the comments, we only read the questions. So if you can, put a couple question marks or explanation points at the beginning and or end of the comments so that I can read them a little bit better. And we will try to go as quickly as possible and answer as many questions as possible to help you go on your journey with Quail. But usually I don't do announcements on Monday because it's supposed to be rapid fire. But I promised that I was going to show the 2 brand new colors that we will be introducing shortly at Myshire yesterday, and I forgot. And I didn't want to go down to the barn. So I'm going to show you those real quick. All right, so the first one, where are you? So this one, you need to calm down. I know. I'm not. Thank you. You done? All right. So the first one is the Scarlet Fee. Oops, there we go. It's really hard to see in this picture, but it's actually quite red. It's a growl fee with the roux gene. It's really, really cool. They're quite large, to be honest with you. This one's kind of crazy and getting feathers all over my room. This one is pretty cool looking though. I don't know if you can see it like that, but it's the growl fee. Most, if not all, will be. Oh, you did it, didn't you? I knew you would. All right, well, got it. Most, if not all, are Celadon carriers, not necessarily layers, but Celadon carriers. So we've been working on that for quite some time. We skipped the Celadon thing and went to the size. The size is really nice. And they are actually, we haven't had them long enough for me to be able to say for sure, but I think that they might be one of the best layers we have. We've got a lot of eggs from them. So that's fantastic. So that's one of the new colors. The other one is, I hope this shows up on the screen. Hi. I'm a little delayed, but this is, let's see, the Autumn Fee, and I've got bad quality on mine. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty well. It is feather sexable. It's, you need to calm down. It's the pearl with the autumn amber, and so it's bringing a lot of markings on the back, and there's a few Celadon layers, but we really didn't focus on that even at the beginning. We wanted a lot of the pattern on it, so you can see there, but it is absolutely gorgeous. In person, they actually are much nicer looking than what they are on the screen right now, at least mine anyway. But that's the new colors. The Scarlet Fee, like I said, a lot of them are Celadon carriers. They won't be in the future because we kind of stopped that. But as of right now, they are. And they're quite large. The egg size, I wrote it down, it's in the barn. It's pretty big. I think it's somewhere around 14 grams. I'll do all about the colors on them, but they're pretty nice. And then the autumn fees they are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. They're a good size as well, and they're laying pretty well. They're not laying as well as the scarlet fees, but like if you watched videos in the past, it's like, you know, Rosetta, Tibetan, Scarlet, Gold. I think the Growl or the Scarlet Fee is going to be up there closer to the Scarlet Tibetan range. And then the Autumn Fee is going to be pretty much right around the Gold. So yeah, that's what we're working on now. And I'm using those eggs for orders that have already been in so we can try to get caught up. But once we get on about a 1 to 2 week wait, I'll put those on the website. But those are the brand new colors. I'm sorry it took so long for me to show everybody. And if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask. And let's get into the rapid fire questions. Again, everybody that's here, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. I'm going to get this hair wherever it's at on my hat. So thank you very much for being here. I know that on Sundays we announce where everybody's from, and it is a lot of fun, but I will be skipping all of those tonight, and we will just be doing the questions. And if you didn't hear at the beginning, if you do have questions, feel free to ask. That's what we're here for. But put a bunch of question marks or explanation points or something by your question so that I can pick it out a little bit easier for me. So let's get started, shall we? Bryce is in the house. Hello from Maine. I have 6 quail hens. They were shipped and arrived here 2 weeks ago, so they're all roughly 8 weeks old. They are in a 20 by 22 inch cage and have plenty of drinking and feeding space. 5 of them are getting beat up and 1 is in perfect condition. I haven't personally witnessed any bullying. Is this an aggressive hen? Is the hen that is perfect condition the aggressor? I also haven't gotten any eggs yet and have artificial light on them for 2 hours after sunset. So this is a lot, and thank you for your time. Sorry, this is a lot. No, it's fine. All right, so you got 6 hens. It sure sounds like you got a male. You could have an aggressive hen. You could have an aggressive hen. That's a possibility. And yes, whichever one is in good condition is definitely the aggressor, male or female. It could be a couple different things. If it just recently started, you said you've had them for about 2 weeks. If you said it just started, it kind of sounds like it's a male and they started becoming mature. So I would sex them out and make sure that they're all hens. Sometimes that happens. So you could check that out. If it is a hen, either way, I would take the aggressor out. Let the hens heal. My first question would be, how are they beat up? Did you say? 5 of them are getting beat up and 1 is imperfect. Yeah. So by beating up, I mean, is it like, usually when hens are aggressive, they go for the eyes, usually. So are the eyes beat up, or is it the back? Because if it's the back, I guess I keep leaning towards there's a male in there. So that would be the first thing I would check. The second thing I would do is take the aggressor out, the one that's in good condition, and confirm that it's a hen. And if it is, then it's either an aggressive hen, which there's not much you can do about, and I wouldn't use it for a breeding program. But if you've got all hens, then you wouldn't have a breeding program anyway. I would take that hen out, and then I would put her in a box, like so. Leave it in there for about 2 to 3 hours. Put her back in. Usually she'll be at the bottom of the pecking order then, and she'll kind of get along with everybody. Would be another option that you could try. That was a big question and a big answer, or a long answer, but it was a good question. I'm sure other people are having the same issue somewhere. Again, welcome everybody that's here. Kaylee's Quail Farm says, I have a jumbo hen that has been laying eggs now for about a week, and they look like they have been stretched but had good hard shells. Today she started laying these eggs with very soft shells. Am I correct that switching them to laying feed might fix this problem? Well, yeah, switching them to laying feed will fix the soft shell. But if the soft shell just started, I would assume, and he didn't say, you could correct me if I'm wrong, I would assume that they just started laying. So I would assume they're maybe 6-7 weeks old. And in that time frame, about 2 weeks after, between the 2 weeks of them starting to lay and 2 weeks after, they'll kind of transition into the eggs, and so you'll have a bunch of weird and odd shape and odd colors and things like that. So that's kind of normal as well if they're that young, which if you haven't switched them to the layer feed, which would make sense, that they're still young. So yeah, everything's normal, and it'll all fix itself. Plus you'll be switching over to a layer feed, which will also contribute to help. Let's see. Welcome everybody, glad you're all here. Go Big says, I got my like in already. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. We're going to try to get to 100 likes tonight, and I'm going to go super fast. I'm going to focus. I'm going to put this right in front of me, and I'm going to talk real fast. All right. I got my like in already. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone from Louisiana. What cage system do you recommend for bigger flocks? Hanging cages, aviary, etc. And what is the biggest flock you recommend? I don't really know what the last part means, like in one area. As long as there's 3 quail per square foot, then you can have as many as you like in there. We've had, I guess the most we've had in one cage is 120. And it worked fine, but I didn't want all the cages being that long. Plus ours hang from the ceiling, from the roof, and I didn't want all that weight in one area, so we shortened the cages. But yeah, they can go as big as you want, just 3 quail per square foot. And what cage do you recommend for? I guess it depends on what you're doing. If you're wanting to do a real big flock or covey, would be what quail are. But if you're wanting to do a big covey, I would assume you're going to be trying to sell some. I would assume. Aviary works for a larger amount, but they're going to be hard to take care of. They're going to be hard to collect eggs every day. So hanging cages is what we do. That's what I would recommend. It's a good question. And the aviaries make more sense, except, you know, they're outside, so they're not going to be laying as frequently, and it's not going to be a routine, and, you know, you need supplemental light, and, you know, collecting eggs. They might be able, you might get them to be able to move them all to one section. I still like the hanging cages for my purpose. But even when we were raising them just for us, for self-sufficiency, we still did the cages. I did really like the quail tractor, though. That was a lot of fun. Let's see. Bags of Love says, I have 24 Egyptians that are 4 weeks old, and they're a little bit confusing. Some have dark reddish speckles, some have light speckles. As long as the chest is speckled, that means female, correct? No, not necessarily. I'd give it 1 extra week. Usually with the feather sex bulls, at about 2.5 weeks old, they all have speckles on their chest, or most anyway. And with that being said, at 3 weeks old or 3.5 weeks old, the males start losing that speckle. It starts going up and fading away. So the light speckles makes me think that they're transitioning and they're just a little behind schedule is what I would think. So I would wait an extra week before you determine that. If they still have speckles on their chest by next week, then for sure they're hens. But I would be a little hesitant on confirming that right now. It's a good question. A lot of great questions tonight so far. We're only a couple minutes in. Again, welcome everybody. Glad everybody's here. I got baby quail today. Thank you. That's awesome. Congratulations. Zach Bill from Tennessee, thinking about building an aviary for communal birds. What are the positives and negatives? Any input would help decide and hopefully send me in a positive direction. I'm not saying anything negative about aviaries. I think it's a good idea. I think it does not work for me, but if you've watched any of my videos, I think everybody raises them differently, and I don't think there's a right or wrong way to raise them. I know plenty of people that have aviaries, and if you raise them in aviaries, they are going to be more flighty, which is a good thing, especially if you're going to try to sell some to dog training or things like that. They're not going to be as consistent as far as laying eggs. They will be a lot happier. It's a little bit more difficult to collect and take care of. You would still need to supplement the light, which kind of becomes an issue with the aviaries. But if you're not looking for maximum production, then I think the aviaries are a great idea. Hopefully I'm not glitchy anymore. Sorry, I just saw that. Is square footage the same, or is there a cubic formula, any minimum ground coverage or height? That's a good question, and actually Jasmine is one of the leaders in the community, and she does pens and aviaries, and she does 3 quail per square foot in the pens, which is what I do and I recommend. And then she said yesterday actually that she does 2.5 quail in the aviaries, and it works great for her. So you could have a extra in there. Plus the aviary is going to be bigger as well. Let's see. Do you do dust baths for your quail? And if so, do you add DE? We have. Before, I don't anymore. My setup's a little bit different, and it caused major disasters for me. But I highly recommend it. I think it's a great idea for everybody. Make sure you don't use a lot. Read the instructions and make sure it's very minimal. Yeah, they love it. It works great. Usually they'll start laying eggs in there. That's kind of their safe haven. With my setup, it did not go well at all. But a lot of people do it, and I think it's a great idea. And when we were raising them just for us, we had them in there. The autumn fee is very pretty. I think so too. Thank you. Love the coolers. I don't know if you're talking to me. I don't know what you're talking about. Love the coolers. Maybe you're not talking to me. Zach, are these colors available now? They are not available yet. I do want to get some eggs out. I don't feel comfortable putting new colors on the website when I'm behind on orders. So I'm using those for mixed eggs, or one of them for the feather susceptible mix, the autumn fee. I would feel much better about getting caught up first before I put them on the website. But they are coming. They are ready. I just have to get caught up with the other orders first. La Rochelle Farm says, Zach, how is stock on your highest productive egg layers? Rosettas are pretty backed up. They're about 4 or 5 weeks out. Scarlets, I think I have 2 orders for scarlets, but everything else is going to mixes, and Tibetans are maybe about 2 weeks out. And then the golds are about 2 weeks out, which is not too bad for this time of year. Tammy says, how long should I wait for the girls to lay eggs? The ones that aren't laying are weeks behind their sisters. I'm thinking freezer camp. How long should I wait for the girls to lay eggs? The ones that aren't laying are weeks behind their sisters. I can't really answer that. I would need a lot more information to give you an accurate answer. How old are they? When did that group of quail start laying? I would need to know that to be able to answer you. I'm sorry. How do you keep them from aggressively pecking each other? A couple different things. One, make sure that there's always food and water. Always, always, always. You never let them run out. And that causes that. Make sure that there's 3 quail per square foot. If you give them more than that, they start getting territorial. not less. If you give them less. So if it's like 1 quail per square foot, they'll become territorial. 2 quail per square foot makes them territorial. 3 quail per square foot works perfect for us. 4 quail per square foot's okay, but after that they start getting real irritated with each other because they're a little cramped, and then that starts aggressiveness as well. So it could be that. Make sure that there's always food and water. Make sure that there's 5 hens to 1 male. If you have less than that, you know, if you have three or four hens to 1 male, the males will overbreed. But if you have 1 male to 8 or 10 hens, you won't really have aggression or territorialism, but you will have lower fertility for sure. Hopefully that helps. The autumn fee is what I was having trouble identifying. I got 2. They're beautiful. That's awesome. Congratulations. And they really are. I don't know if the picture did it justice, but they are absolutely gorgeous. Like I'm sticking with the pansy fees, but man, they are close to beating out my favorite color. They're awesome. Oh, the wife says, this is my first time hatching, and I was afraid I killed the eggs with a high 78% and a low 15% humidity. I have 9 pipped and 1 zipping on day 17. Humidity is 65%. Will they finish hatching okay? Day 17, you have 9 pipping, 1 zipped on day 17. The wife, what day are you on? 15's not that big of a deal. 78, if it's during incubation, that's too high. Yeah, okay, so if you're still on, if you can tell me what day you're on now, how many have hatched, what incubator you're using, and how many is in there, I can do my best to try to help you out, get some more. Stefan says, are the colors just to have pretty birds and not so much for food self-sufficiency? No, so our focus is self-sufficiency in egg production and meat. So they're actually pretty good size. The scarlet fee is, it's a little over 9. It's a little over 9 ounces, like 9.5, 9.4, somewhere around there. So it's a decent sized quail. They're fantastic layers for egg production. The autumn fees are a little bit smaller. I think they're closer to 9, but still, that's not a bad size. When I started years and years and years ago, a standard quail, which is what they're considered, a standard quail was, I think, average 7 ounces. So that's pretty good. And they're still laying pretty well, but if the numbers stay true, it looks like the scarlet fees are going to average around 320 to 315 to 320 eggs a year, which is great production. And the autumn fees are going to be somewhere around 300, a little bit more. So no, they're great layers and decent meat for sure. And they're pretty to look at. Bars Farm says, can you breed a jumbo male to a standard female? You can. That would be how you increase the standard size. That's how you would do that. Yep. If you could, hit the like button. Verna and Ed are in the house. They just mentioned to everybody to show the appreciation, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Absolutely. I'd greatly appreciate all that. Our goal tonight is to 100 likes. We're already at 83, not too far in. So thank you very much for all your guys' support. I appreciate that. Jasmine says, here's a question for Zach. How does one tell the difference between feather loss due to overbreeding versus molting? That's a good question. It's a good question. Well, usually molting will be patchy with quail, whereas overbreeding will be one spot. You know, so it'll be the back of the center of the back is overbreeding. But if it's patchy in different places, that's usually molting, plus their wing feathers. That would not be due to overbreeding. So that's a couple of things, but it's a good question. Deidre Douglas is in the house, says, welcome. Again, everybody that's here, thank you very, very much. I'm only reading the questions tonight, so if you do have questions, hit the question marks or exclamation points so I can see it. I'd appreciate that, as we are trying to do rapid fire, and I tend to fail at that. How many chicks can go into a 5x2 brooder? I recommend 6 chicks per square foot for the first 2 weeks and 6 days. So when they hit 3 weeks old is when you need to transition them and move them. But how many chicks can go into a 5x2 brooder? Well, that's 10 square feet, 6, so that'd be 60 chicks in that brooder. And then once they are 3 weeks old, I recommend doing 3 quail per square foot after that, because they will start becoming mature pretty quickly after that, and they're getting much bigger. Louis says, I have 24 by 24 coops. That would be the max number of quail per coop. Well, that's 2 by 2. So that's 4. So 3 times 4 is 12. So you can do 12 quail in each cage. 3 quail per square foot is what I recommend. Kaylee's Quail Farm says, today is day 3 for 22 of my birds. First eggs in the incubator. I can hardly wait to see if any of them hatch. Well, good luck to you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Gary says, what will I get if I breed a jumbo male with a Tibetan female? Hi, and thanks from North Carolina. Not a problem. Welcome. Glad you're here. Well, you get Tibetan and wilds is what you get. Tibetan and wild. Jumbo male, you would increase the size of the Tibetans, but the Tibetans are easy to get up to a good size, but they will go back down very, very quickly. We've worked on a jumbo Tibetan for quite some time and had it for a couple generations, and then we just noticed that it was getting a little bit, they're still a good size, but you can't call them jumbo. So yeah, that's how you would do that, and that's what you'd get. I just used clean dirt with ash for the dust baths. There you go. Thanks for sharing. Another question, does the weight of jumbos make them more susceptible to foot calluses and or bumblefoot infections, or is it simply the housing, flooring, and environment? I've not really thought about it. We don't have that issue, so I would say no, but it would make sense that the more weight would be more susceptible, and that would be logical. That would make sense. But I really don't have that issue in those cages, and it's the same wire, and we don't use the PVC coated. We use galvanized. I'm gonna say no, but it would make sense that it is, but I've not seen that. It's another really good question. They're over 2.5 months, and the others have been laying for over 2 weeks. 2.5 months, so 10 weeks old. They're still not laying. And they started laying a little late as well. I wouldn't give up just yet. Make sure that you're getting light to them. They need about 16 to 18 hours of light a day. And go ahead and move them over to a layer feed. So give them light, make sure they're on a layer feed, and I'd give them an extra about 2 weeks. And if there's still an issue, then I don't think it would be the hens. You could contact me and we can try to troubleshoot a little bit more. But the first thing I would do is make sure that you have 16 to 18 hours of light, and then give them an extra 2 weeks, because the ones that started laying 2 weeks ago still was laying late on what they normally would. So yeah, let's give it 2 more weeks. Just make sure they got that. Oh, you said they at least 14. I'd bump that up, and that should fix the issue. 16 to 18 is ideal for the layers. How old do they have to be to vent sex and get foam? As early as 6 weeks, some 5, but 6 weeks is kind of the standard to be able to vent sex. If you're not familiar with it, then I really recommend you doing it about 7.5 weeks. And then you can move yourself down. So if you're just starting out and you're vent sexing, it's better to start at 7.5 to 8 weeks, and then that next generation do 7 weeks, and then you can move yourself down. But trying to do it with no experience at 6 weeks old can be a little difficult. George still has issues with it, but I'm usually the one that sexts him out, so he doesn't really do it that often, so that would make sense. That's just about what we're getting. The 3 are laying daily at the same time, but the other 3 are slackers. Yeah, let's bump up that light and let me know how it goes in the next week and a half. But let's do that first. Correction from last night from the aviary space, my dumb thumb. Oh, okay. It's 1.5 quail per square foot in the aviary. I typed 2.5 on last night's live, but that's per quail. Super generous in space, too crowded equals high ammonia odor. There you go. So in an aviary setting, you can do 1.5 quail per square foot, and you can do 3 quail in the cages. Thanks for, oh, I should probably. Fixed. Welcome everybody. We're glad you're here. Witch Doctor says, does anyone have any good ideas to keep pigeons away? We're thinking of getting some Halloween ghosts that move when something is near to scare away the other birds. That's not a bad idea. I don't know. I've went on complete lockdown, so I'm not too sure. Not that anybody asked, but you might be interested. We're getting MPIP tested next week again. So he'll be out. He said that he's going to go over some extra precautions with us. It has hit Ohio, the avian influenza, not close to us. And we've been locked down for quite some time now. And so hopefully we'll be able to do a video for him or with him while he's here and give you an update on the avian influenza outbreak. So I'm excited about that because he'll be the expert on that. Tommy's in the house from Tennessee. Welcome. Got my thumbs up. Thank you very much. Mitchard Nelson says from the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago. Zach, have you start back international shipping? No, the U.S. just does not want us to do it, I guess. Yeah, so COVID kind of hit, and they didn't want any live. They didn't want any live quail or live animals to be crossing, and they considered eggs to be live embryos, which is fine. And then when they started getting back to normal on that, the avian influenza outbreak happened, and now it's completely shut down. Like there is no negotiation at all. So I just saw that we hit 102 likes. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Don Ray B says, what is the minimum amount of live birds you'll ship? What is the smallest amount of hatching eggs you ship? So the smallest amount of hatching eggs we do is 25 count. And we do that more for, if you watched my video today, it's more for the uninformed customers. Like they want a small amount, but if you think about it, you order 25, half hatch, you're looking at, we'll just say 13, half of those are males, so you're gonna get around 6 hens. So that's kind of what they want. And so when certain people start out, they think, okay, well, I want 6 birds, so I need, 8 eggs. And it's like that, it's not really how that works. So 25 is the minimum count on the eggs, and the live quail, whatever you want. The most we've shipped at one time to one person, the most we've shipped ever in one day was 275. That was exhausting and miserable, and I hated it. But the most we've shipped to one customer was 200. We've done that numerous times. Are bald birds always aggression? No, that's not always aggression. It could be molting. It could be age. It could be overheating. It could be overbreeding, which is not aggression. Those are a couple to think about anyway. Can a single bird lay both celadon and normal color eggs? Can a single bird? No. Nope. If it's a celadon, it's going to always be celadon. If it's not laying a blue egg, it'll never lay a blue egg. But it will be a carrier. The wife says, I'm on day 17. Oh, okay. I remember. I'm on day 17. I set them on March 11. The 78% was early incubation. I figured that fixed within a day using Nurturite 360. Ordered 25, got 34 cracked a male, 4 infertile, 3 died early, 19 in lockdown. Great. Okay. So yeah, there's nothing to worry about. You're going to do great. Humidity did not affect it at all. So you're good to go. I think you said you had 9. I'm gonna go back up and see if I can find it. There. 9 pipped, 1 zip. So you got 10 right now. 19 went in. Okay, this is what I'd like you to do if you could do this. Leave it alone, let it be, and let it go until day 19. So nope. Yeah, Wednesday. Yep. So on Wednesday, don't end the hatch. In fact, increase the temperature. I think you said you're at 65% humidity. Increase the temperature by 0.5 degree and increase your humidity 5% and let it go for an extra 2 days. So you'll stop the incubation process on Friday, but leave it alone until Wednesday because they might just do it on their own. I'd like to see more like 13 or 14 at this time, but you might have 18 by the morning. So yeah, it would be better not to do anything yet. But if it's still not where it should be, if you're still only at like 11 or 12 by Wednesday, increase those numbers and that should get the rest of them to hatch. But I think you're right where you should be. So no worries at all. A Little Red Charm says about video and tour coming. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Sean says, from the start of laying eggs, how long do you need to wait before you start collecting hatching eggs, or can you incubate the first eggs a hen lays? You can. The first few days, they're most likely not going to be fertile. And then after that, fertility is going to be pretty low. So the rule of thumb, the best practice is to wait for a week. So once they start laying, collect those 7 days and eat them up, and then you can start collecting after that. I have a note here that I need to do a video on that because that question's been brought up quite a bit. So that's a very good question to ask. My lights go on at 4 and goes out at 8. I'm assuming 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. That would be fine. It'd be all right, right? 20, 16. Yeah, that's 16 hours. That took me a little bit longer than what it should have. Yeah, that would be great. Have 10 baby quail, 8 days old. Am I right to think that the larger chicks should be female? No, not necessarily. I would not judge that because they all go by their own thing. Oh, okay. Maybe I wrote that down wrong. Okay, so you're doing 1.5 square feet per quail, not on average 1.5 quail per square foot. You're doing 1.5 feet. Okay. Thank you very much, Josh's Punk Rock Garden. I appreciate that. I must have written it. I just read it wrong, is what I did. Jasmine says, how long would you allow a crippled chick to continue to live? The little Celadon pearl chick with the dislocated hip, never healed, but is still living, growing, 3 weeks old now, not planning to breed. I would call it now. I don't think that you're going to be able to raise it to butcher and it be an okay size. I mean, if it's growing at the same size as the rest, then you could if it's not bothering them. But if it was me, I would call it and use it for raw dog food is what I would do. Shadow 1X says, sorry, I just joined. Which incubator do you recommend? I do have, you can go to our YouTube channel, go to the tab that says playlist, and on there is a playlist called Reviews on Quail Supplies. I do have one on the Nurturite 360 that I thought was pretty good. I did one on the Little Giant, which I was really impressed with. I did one on a Hovabator that I was not impressed with, but instead of actually recommending one, I would recommend you watch those and find out which one works for you. Because I know a lot of people use that Hovabator, and I am going to try a different type of Hovabator because I've heard great reviews on another one. So I will do that as well as soon as I have eggs to use. But you could check those out and find out which one works best for you. It's a good question. I don't feel comfortable actually recommending one because I think it's different for everybody. Gypsy Moon says, question, what is the average egg production annually for the jumbo whites? I don't remember. I don't know, 275, 285. If you go, you can either go to our playlist tab on our YouTube channel, and there's one that's called All About the Colors, and there's one All About the Whites. It'll tell you in there. Or you could just type in the YouTube search bar, All About Jumbo Whites by Myshire Farm, and that video will show up. It's also on our website in the description. So if you go to myshirefarm.com, you can click on the hatching eggs of the jumbo whites, and underneath that gives you all that information. Average egg size, average length of production, average eggs per year, average weight. I thought it was a bummer because I need that phone. Hold on, please. I'm so sorry. I know it's rapid fire and I'm failing again. Oh God, what did I do? The minimum live quail is 6. We ship 6 males. And then we would ship 6. So the minimum amount is 6. An all-female set, an all-male set, or breeder set is 5 in 1. The teens are 10 straight runs or 20 straight runs, and you could buy multiple quantities when they're available. Just wondering, has anyone tried hatching out the round eggs to see if they are female? I have heard the pointier eggs are males, but I have not experimented with this yet. No, it is a myth. I wish it was true. If it was, I would have a lot more money in the bank, but it is a lie from the pits of hell. No, it's a myth. It'd be cool if it was real, though. Bars Farm says, okay, I got one for you. If the hen has AI, will the eggs have AI? No, I always get confused on this, and Jenna always corrects me. So my initial response is no, it's not transferable through the eggs. But maybe I'm wrong because I always get that confused. Hey, Jenna? She's not talking to me right now. I don't know where she is. I'm fairly certain it does not transfer to the egg. I wish she could hear me. Because every time I say it backwards and she gets mad at me, which makes me second guess it. I will get back to that. I thought I already was, but I guess I missed it. Oh, you're not talking to me. Question. What is the average egg production annually for the jumbo whites? Oh, we already answered that one. I didn't. So I noticed I have one female that lays round eggs every time. Thank you for the answer. It will save me some time. There you go. What are you using to collect your eggs, or do they go right into boxes? Yeah, whatever I'm using is what they get collected in. So we collect every day, so they go into foamers, and then if we're collecting for us for like a week, like this week, all jumbos are going into the incubator, so they go straight into the trays and they're sitting on my counter until I put them in on Friday. So I don't transfer them to, I think that's just a waste of time to transfer them to one thing to another. So yeah, I just use the trays themselves. Plus they're pointy side down and good to go. I already just answered that one. Kaylee's Quail Farm says, is there a chance that you will do a review on the Brencia ovation? Yes, that is on. I've actually, I mean, they're on my to-do list. I can't do it right now. I just, I can't use those eggs for an experiment to do a YouTube video when people are waiting on eggs. I just feel really bad about it. So I'm literally using every egg in the barn every day. So as soon as I get caught up, those will be coming back at full force. I do have 2 incubators that are just waiting on eggs, and then we're going to do an overall review. So we're going to set all the incubators up at the same place, same time, same eggs, and we're going to do an experiment with all of them running at the same time. And then I've got I've got a Incubator forced air, and then we'll compare that to the still air. I've got the Farm Innovator that's waiting. I've got the Magic Fly little dome that's waiting, that's already here. And then I've got the Ovation 56EX, which, is that what you asked about? Yep, that's on my list. I've not ordered it yet because I don't have eggs to put in it and I didn't want to spend the money. And then I also have on my list IncuView, the Hatching Time CT60, and the Barado Reel 49. I don't know what half of those are, but people fast, so I'll do those. But yeah, I'm waiting on the eggs. Fast, I'm going fast. Okay, I forgot. I have thought about automating the barn as far as egg collecting goes, and I just don't think it would work out. I can't find a way that it would work out or save any time. Because they all go into separate, they all go into separate. So like if you'd order, let's say you order 60 jumbos, they don't come out of one cage. They come out of multiple cages. So, a 60 count is, I don't even know, like we'll say 10 rows. It's not 10 rows. I don't know. It's 7 and 8. 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8 is the holes, and a total of 60. 8 rows maybe? Anyways, it doesn't matter. Let's just say there's 8 rows in a foamer that fills up for 60 eggs. You'll usually get a row of each cage is usually what you'll get. So automating that it wouldn't work for what we do. If we were only selling them for eating eggs or balutes, then that would work great. But because we have so many different options on the website, it just doesn't work out. I can't figure out how to do it. But we are automating some stuff in the barn, so I'm pretty excited about that. Stefan says, my pen is 3-tier. Each cage is a little over 3 long by 19 inches deep. Would it be best to put 2 males and 8 females on each tier, or divide the cage and put 1 and 4? No, 2 and 8 would be great. I prefer colony. I prefer doing multiple. There's less feeders, there's less water issues, there's just a lot of less for stuff to break and monitor and fix and blah, blah, blah. So we do the small little cages for our research and things like that. But anything else, I would do 8 and 2 every time. Josh's Punk Rock Garden says 280 eggs per year from jumbo whites according to the Myshire website. Thank you very much. I think I said 275, 280. Look at me remembering. I want to buy fertile eggs from you. We'd love for you to. You can check out our website, myshirefarm.com. We'd appreciate your business. Robert says, have several quail laying blue tinted eggs. How can I get the blue color eggs? Don't exactly know what you mean. I would assume it's well, let's just assume they're the CE. So, for blue eggs, you need Celadon carrying hens, which sounds like you have. And then you need Celadon carrying males. If you do not have a Celadon carrying male, they will not be blue eggs in the future. So that's very, very important. But a Celadon, a blue egg laying hen, does not need the male to lay that blue egg for the rest of her life. But she could be a CE carrier and just not lay the blue egg. Celadons kind of just are not. I'm so happy I'm getting rid of them. I can't express to everybody how much I just don't like them at all. There's just too many rules and guidelines for them. Kaylee's Quail Farm says, is there any chance that you could get Jenna to join you sometime when you do a live stream? Not a chance in Hades, to be honest with you. Not gonna happen. My mom doesn't watch this. My mom is turning 60 in 2 weeks, but we're having a party for on Saturday, and I contacted a bunch of people and said, why don't we do a collage video, and everybody send Jenna like a 2-minute video about best memory or whatever, and we'll put it on at the party, and we'll give her a DVD so she can take it home. And Jenna had a nervous breakdown just doing a 1.5-minute video on for my mom, and no one else is gonna see it. So yeah, I don't see how that would ever be possible, ever. I grew up raising animals, but I want to start again since I moved here in Florida. We'd love to help, and we really do think that quail are an amazing way to start raising animals again and becoming more self-sufficient. Scuba Healer says, do baby quail carry salmonella like baby chicks? Nope, not at all. Quail do not carry salmonella, actually. Chickens do, but not quail. That's why they're better. Let's see, how many primary genetic strains do you have, or are they all interrelated? I'm needing to introduce new genes into my current... Oh, God. Jeez. Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. A couple, I'm pretty sure 6. I'm gonna stick with 6. When is the next genetics video? I can do it next week. I can do the Rugy next week. So tomorrow I'm doing a video at 8 with someone, and then I'll post that later on this week. The video I posted today was not supposed to be posted. I was just trying to upload it while I worked, and then all of a sudden I got a crap ton of texts saying what they thought of it, and I went, what are you talking about? And then I realized that I didn't mark it private, I marked it public, and so I had to make a bunch of changes to it live, and that was annoying on my part. I should have known better. I was just trying to multitask, and everybody knows how I do that poorly. So that was not supposed to be posted today, but the bee guy's coming. I'd like to do that video this week. He's coming Wednesday. I'm doing the video with the other person tomorrow night, so those two will go posted this week. I can do the Rue video next week. Hello everyone, but late. I'm glad I made it. Welcome, Travis. I mean, after raising them, then kill them for meat. Yeah, absolutely. And you can. They're not like chickens. They'll get a little tougher with age, but not like chickens. Like, you can't raise them that long and then eat them. With quail, you can. We do. I'm sorry, we started without you. Pris K says, if you were to order on April 1st when jumbos are back in stock, do you have a rough estimate on when the eggs would ship? Wondering how long would have to get the brooder and permanent cages set up. Hey, I did have a question. Is AI transferable through eggs?
I don't think so, but I'm not for sure.
Yes, I was right. Thank you. No, it is not transferable through eggs. I'll double check that. I'll make sure that Jim answers that on his video that he's doing. But I was pretty sure about that as well. How long have you, okay, so yeah. So April 1st is Friday. So it really depends on how fast they go, to be honest with you. They'll start shipping that Saturday. So I'm gonna put them on Friday, probably around noonish. I might cheat a little bit, but let's just say Friday at noon is when I'm putting them on. At 8 o'clock that night, I know how many eggs I'll get Saturday, and Jenna will print those labels out. So we'll start shipping the next day. But last time we put them on, we sold over, well, now I've been saying 8,000, but yeah, I was incorrect on that number because I wrote them down wrong. So it was more like 10,500 eggs within 36 hours. And so it really depends on where you are on that queue. Because it's first come, first served, but the first few people that order eggs, we'll get them Monday or Tuesday. Grout or Go Big says, any plans to create lavender line or La Cream? No. I'm really against it, to be honest with you. Both of those would come in, well, I guess you could get that in the GPC as well. So the SSC and the GPC are two collections. They're two lines that produce, you know, the SSC is the silvers, and the silvers produce a bunch of variations of the silvers, and then the German pastel collection creates a lot of the pastel colors. I really like them being separated, and we've tried to narrow them down before, and within about 2 years, we had almost destroyed the line. It was awful. So it's much better, in my opinion, to keep them all different variations of them, and keep them happy and healthy long term. So no, that you will not see me do that. I'm not against other people doing it. And maybe people will do it better than I did. That's a possibility too. But it did not work for us. So it will not ever happen again here. My brain is just completely closed off to it. Texas Caternix Quail Connections in the house and donated $10 to QuailCon. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We did get some more tickets sold, but no new states. So right now we've got 29 states coming to QuailCon. So I'm pretty excited about that. If you don't know what that is, check out our website. There's a tab that says QuailCon 2022. Click on the tickets, and then there's a description underneath it and a video that's going to give you a lot of information and a lot more to come, so stay tuned for that. Anita says, what are the sizes of your breeder cages? Oh, 8 foot by 36 inches. 10 foot? Oh, crap. I'm pretty sure it's 8 foot. I can never remember. I don't know why. I can never remember. I'm pretty sure it's 8 by 36 inches. Don Ray B says, with an egg order of 25, can I request different colors if they are the same price range? For example, Graufi, Autumn Amber, and Sex Link Mix. Yeah. So if you order the mix on the website, in the notes section at checkout, you can say, can you just include these or whatever? And we will do our very best to honor that. Go Big says, do you have a best practice series of videos? We do. I don't think there's a ton on there, but there's 3 or 4. I just started it. I am going to be doing a best practice for hatching and a best practice for brooding your quail. Also a best practice for chick health, and there was another one, and I don't see it right now, but there is another best practice. So I think there's 2 or 3 on there already, and I've got some good ones coming, but I wanted to actually show you in the barn, and well, George kind of destroyed it this week, so that's not happening this week or next. It's a 2-week project, but I was hoping to get in there today and do it before he started, and he got down there early, and just stressed me out, so I just closed the door and walked away. But he's doing what he's supposed to. Quail don't carry salmonella at all. Nope, not at all. Do you have a leg size you try to get for jumbos? Yes, but no. I don't have I don't measure them. I look for more of, does it go along with the rest of the body? And I can kind of tell by just looking at it now. So yes, we do look at that for sure. That's a very important part of us picking the jumbos right after the weight. And whether they make weight or they don't, we still check out the legs. But you can kind of tell, like you can, the best thing to do if you're going to do that is take a jumbo and take a standard, and you will see a massive size difference in the legs. And that's kind of like, once you do that a couple times, it's better. I mean, you look at it and go, that looks they skip leg day for a couple days. So, you know, but I don't measure them and have a specific number. So how can I get new genes from all 6 genetic strains in an egg order, or as many as possible? If you're doing a mix, then you would just put that in the comments, just like somebody else asked about if they could just get certain colors. You would just let me know that colors are not very important, but more of the gene strains you're looking for. You could do that. Um, or if you are looking for a specific color, then it would completely depend on the color, to be honest with you. That would depend. But yeah, you could just put that in the notes and we'll take care of it. Do you ship fertile eggs to Canada? I do not at this time with the influenza outbreak. I don't know of anyone responsibly shipping out of the country right now. There might be, I don't know, but no, we can't. Will you make a book of cage ideas that haven't been successful? Like, cage ideas? No, I don't. I won't. I really think that anything could work, to be honest with you. I mean, I've pretty much seen everything in the book. I mean, we've made, yeah, there's things that you can improve on. But I think that any cage would work within reason. I mean, you can't put them in a. But I mean, I know that we've put quail when we first started. We put them in a what is it? A glass fish tank. Yes, an aquarium tank. We put them on there. Obviously, we busted the bottom out and put wire on, but we used that. That worked great. We used that for a brooder as well. That worked great. We've used rabbit hutches and transformed them into quail. That worked great. There's, Dale's Quails, and there's Winola Ranch, and there's Hatching Time, and there's, people build their own. And I mean, yeah, I think that you could work with almost anything you got. Glenn Wells says aggressive Roo was separated for 2 days from hens. I put him back in today. In less than an hour, he had hen bleeding on one side of head, and she lost an eye. He is in solitary confinement now. Sounds like you just need to use another Roo, and he could probably be a snack. That's what it sounds like, unfortunately. I know it's not a great answer, but Deidre says, so if you get yellow babies from the jumbo white wings, what color will those be? They'll be jumbo whites. I am seeing white wings on a few yellow babies also. Yeah. I'll see white wings on the few yellow babies also. If you ordered jumbo whites and jumbo white wings, I would assume that they got mixed up because it seems like they're hatching at the same time. But yeah, jumbo white wings will produce jumbo whites. Stephen Meyer says, if colonies are okay, can 3 males be in with 12 females without any fighting? How many males to hens do you keep in your cages? We have 18 or 18 males in each one of our colony cages. So yeah, that would not be a problem at all. What wattage bulb should I use in my brooder, which is a lot like yours with the bulb inside on the wall, red bulb? Yeah, 250 watt. It could be red or the yellowish color. 250 watt bulb would work. And if you're going to do the 250 watt, you might as well get the red. Do you have an updated weight average for the Fab V's? I did update on the website. I can't remember what it was. I think it did go up in size, but I don't remember. So I updated the weights and the egg production to this year's generation from when I did the videos. Those descriptions are in on the website under each color. So the Fab V's will have a description, and the video will be attached to it, but it does say that some things have changed because of a newer generation, but the numbers in the website are correct and up to date. Zach, can you write a book about the day you saw the light and switched over to horizontal nipples? Just saying. No, No, I'm with the troughs all the way, man. With the troughs. Is stainless steel for wire worth the extra cost? Sure it'll last longer. How long has your galvanized wire lasted on the bottom of your cages? Um, well, we're still using one original cage and we've never switched out the wiring. So that was 12 years ago. And it's galvanized. But I just kept paying for stuff, I guess. I don't really know what happened. But when they built the cages for this barn, I was working in the other barn and they were building the cages and they used really crappy wire and those lasted 2 years and we had to replace them all. So the quality of the wire really matters. For sure. You state their estimated size weight at 10 weeks old. Is that the age they should be butchered for meat at the earliest? Some people do as early as 6. I like 8. That's what I butcher at, is 8 weeks old. But you can do 10. I think that's more of the traditional answer, is 10 weeks old. But I do 8. I don't see the point in raising them for an extra 2 weeks for minimal weight. So in my opinion, the best bang for your buck for meat is 8 weeks old. But if you let them go to 10 weeks old, then they'll get bigger. I just think you're going to spend more money in feed than what's worth the wait. Pablo says, "Hi Zach, how old quail need to be so they can go outside on a shed without heat or insulation, or outside cage with a box attached so they can get away from the elements?" To be safe, do 4 weeks, but late spring, all of summer, early fall, you could do 3 weeks. But just to be safe, 4 weeks old, and they'll be fine outside or in an uninsulated barn. Ryan says, how many ones of meat comes off an adult jumbo on average? What? No bones, guts, or feathers, just meat. I think you get 60%. I always forget that answer too. I think it's 60% of the live weight is what you get. I think. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember. Yeah, the first cage we bought really nice wire. These, I guess, because we were buying so much, we tried to go cheap, and that was a disaster. So I spent a lot of money last year on wire, and we just finished. But it's really nice, and I think it's going to last a long time. And that you could definitely tell a huge difference in it. How many ounces? Stupid autocorrect. It really depends if it's jumbo or standard or what size to start with, but I do believe it's 60% of the live weight is what you get when it's butchered. How would I modify rabbit cages? Just the floors? Yeah, just the floors will be just fine. That's what we did anyway. How do I make arrangements to have the USPS contact me when eggs arrive instead of them being delivered? In the notes section at checkout, you'll just put hold for pickup, and we'll mark it on the box. They'll call you when they arrive. Otherwise, they'll just go straight to your house. Rio says, we know it takes 1.5 to 2 ounces of feed for adult quail. How much grower feed to get to the 8-week butcher age? I thought I put that in that. There's 2 quail math videos. I'm pretty sure I put that in the first video. I mean, I don't remember at all off the top of my head. That completely left my brain. But I'm pretty sure it's in that video. Oh, yep. Ed Got Bait just posted the video that has that information in it. Thank you very much. Where to order wire? We ordered from... Shoot. Well, we ordered from 2 different places. The first place we ordered was the least expensive, but it took 6 weeks to get here, which was super annoying. And it was coming from Washington, maybe. It was a rabbit wire business that George found, and I cannot remember the name of it right now. I can get that information, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. And then I didn't order enough, and we were just in the middle of it, didn't want to wait 6 weeks, so I just ordered off on Amazon, and I think I spent an extra like $75, but it got here in 2 days, and we could just keep going. And at that point in time, it was more worth of just get it done rather than the $75. So I should have planned better. Celeste says, I did a huge mistake. I bought 2 sets of eggs at 2 different times. One is jumbo and the other is standard. Do they need to be separated? They don't need to be. They will get along just fine. I would probably separate them once you put them in breeder cages. But as far as the incubator and the brooder and the grow outs, they can get along just fine. Kelly says, hi, Zach, I'm going to QuailCon and looking to order hatching eggs while I'm there. Should I order while I'm there or pre-order the eggs? Nope. We will have plenty available for you here. We'll have, I don't know, 2, 4, 6. No, 25, 5, 75. We'll have 7,500 eggs available. They'll all be fresh. And the goal is to have about 1,200 grow outs available for live quail as well. Yes, it was Bass Equipment. Thank you very much. Go big. Yeah, they were the best price we could find. They just took forever to get there. So I just didn't plan right. I can't wait to meet you, Kelly. I'm glad you're coming to QuailCon. Thanks for coming. And yeah, we will have plenty available for you, for sure. God, I hope. How can you tell good wire from bad? Really, it's the gauge that you're looking for. So we really like the 19 gauge wire is what we really like. Yes. And before we had 16 gauge, and that was crap. But we also bought it from a crap place as well. But the 19 gauge that came in from Bass and from Amazon is fantastic. And I don't know how I did it. I don't know why I did it. It must have been just a good day. I don't remember. But all of our brooders are getting an upgrade right now. We're putting in automatic waters to all 16 brooders, which will save us about an hour and a half a day watering them and cleaning them and. So that'll be nice. And then we ordered wire for those because those started coming up as well. And I don't know why, but I bought PVC coated wire. I don't know why I did, but man, does it look nice. It looks really nice. So that's kind of good and bad. I don't know why I spent the money on it, but it's nice. Good luck, Travis, on your hatch. How many birds can you keep in an aviary? With aviaries, I don't have experience, but Jasmine recommends 1.5 square foot per quail in an aviary. Zach, if we are attending QuailCon, can we pre-order jumbos to ensure I can pick up birds? Would love this. We will have plenty available for you. We'll have plenty. I promise. I promise. We'll have plenty. Especially since it's a 2-day event, so I didn't even count that day. So that's 10,000 eggs. Half my barn is jumbos. Yeah, we'll have plenty of eggs that day. Plenty. Going into lockdown on Wednesday, what humidity should I shoot for? Incubator has stayed 45 to 50 since day one. I take it up to about 65 to 70 at lockdown, and you should be good to go. Bass equipment makes them a little sturdier because for rabbits and the rabbit urine will cut through cheap wire. Agreed. And that's actually, so George raises rabbits, and that's what he got. And he's like, dude, I'm telling you, this is the best wire I've ever seen. And it was the most affordable because we were buying so much, because we had to buy 7 rolls. It was an extreme amount of money, and it hurt my soul to do it. But it had to be done. So, it had to be done. I don't know what else to say. I still don't like it, though. All right, that is all the comments. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Hopefully, if you missed the very first part of this, make sure you go back and watch the first 5 minutes. I introduced 2 brand new colors that'll be coming to the website in about a month. And they are gorgeous quail. I'm really happy with them. hopefully you got to see those. And we will be back Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another live Q&A. And this week, I posted a video today. Make sure you check that out. Comment on what you think of the video, good, bad, and ugly. I'm cool with it. I don't get my feelings hurt very often. And when I do, I'll just cry alone. It's fine. It's not a big deal at all. And then we've got a bee video coming out. I'm getting bees on Wednesday. Super excited about that. And then we are doing a video with a special guest tomorrow to give you more information on how to be part of a community and getting good information about quail. So I'm very excited about all of that. Make sure you like this video, but more importantly, subscribe to the channel and get the word out that quail are awesome. And we will see you all on the other side. Until next time, stay safe.